and welcome back to my channel. Or if it's your first time watching, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and make sure you click on that bell notification icon so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. In today's video, we're going to be going over some of Urban Decay's new launches. So I actually got a couple packages from Urban Decay this last week, and just because of Christmas and New Year's, I wasn't able to sit down and film and really do a wear test. I'm really excited about this, you guys. So they sent me this PR package. It's called Legends Never Fail, and it has a couple of old things and then some new things. So first things first, it comes with the waterproof setting powder that they already have. This came out about a year ago. I've never used it, so I'm really excited to play with that. They sent me their new face primer, Longwear Foundation Gripping Primer. I'm really excited about this, you guys. It's part of their All-Nighter collection, and then they sent me 3 setting sprays. The All-Nighter setting spray, the All-Nighter anti-pollution spray, and then their new All-Nighter Ultra Matte Spray, which I'm really excited to try. In the box, it just says #1 makeup setting spray in the US. The All-Nighter fam has earned cult status in the beauty community, and it's only getting bigger and better. Say hello to the new ways to get your all-nighter fix and keep your makeup looking selfie status approved. I actually really like that. That's really cute. So obviously they sent this to me. This is the disclaimer. They sent this to me. By no means am I obligated to make a video. By no means am I to review it. I love making content for you guys, so obviously we're gonna dive right in. Looking at the description of the primer, it does say, like a stage 5 clinger, all-nighter face primer grips your foundation and won't want to let go. Our lightweight formula goes on sheer to perfect your skin, leaving it feeling smooth, hydrated, and slightly lifted. Oh, excuse me. They said lifted, you guys. Okay, I'm down with that. I'm gonna real quickly look at the ingredients. I mean, the first ingredient's water, so it is water-based. Okay, a lot of ingredients I don't even freaking recognize. I don't know why I look at ingredients nowadays, because I probably don't know what they are. It is 1 fluid ounces. It's supposed to prep, smooth, and perfect. So with the Ultra Matte setting spray, this does look like the original all-nighter. The only thing is that this one comes in a, dark purple. The other one's more like a gray with purple writing. So according to this, as soon as you spray it on, it leaves you mattified for 16 hours. I don't expect it to last 16 hours, but we'll see. Who knows? It is made by Scandinavia, like their other setting sprays. Meet the anti-shine secret weapon that works over time. All-Nighter Ultra Matte Setting Spray weightlessly locks makeup in place for up to 16 hours while it absorbs oil on the skin surface, controls shine, and creates an ultra matte finish. No makeup meltdowns here. That's cute. All-Nighter refreshes skin and keeps makeup vibrant with no drying, fading, or settling into fine lines for all skin types. I'm not going to go into the other stuff in here just because I feel like that stuff already came out. I don't want to do too much in one video. Yeah, without wasting any more time, you guys, let's just dive right into the demo. Okay, you guys, welcome to the demo portion of this video. I am going to start off with the Urban Decay All-Nighter Face Primer Longwear Foundation Grip. I know by now I'll probably have already gone in the intro as far as what it does, so I'm just gonna use the product, give you my first impression. This is supposed to make your foundation last 8 hours. As you guys can tell, I've never opened it. Urban Decay did send all this stuff to me because I'm on their PR list, so it was gifted, just FYI. All my opinions are my own. I am not obligated to love them. I'm not obligated to show love. I'm just filming a video to show content for you guys because I know I always watch reviews on primers and that kind of stuff. So the packaging for it is really beautiful. It's the All-Nighter Face Primer. It is a gripping primer. Looks like this. I'm actually shocked that it has a pump. I remember when they launched their primers a couple years ago, I was not a fan, you guys. Honestly, I was not, especially the mattifying one. It literally would ball up on me. So I'm really excited to try this and see how it grips my foundation. My current favorite gripping primer is actually the Milk Cosmetics Hydro Grip Primer. And that's the only one I've tried so far. I'm obsessed with that one. So let's see how this one fares in comparison. The Hydro Grip can be a little hydrating, so I'm excited to try this. So I'm gonna dispense the product. As always, I do. Okay, so it looks like that. It's a little bit more silicone-y jelly than I thought it was going to be. Let's find out. So I'm gonna take that and, okay, so it kind of feels like the Hydro Grip, but it feels like a gel. And I'm kind of going around my brows because I already have concealer around my brows, but okay, it feels really nice. It feels hydrating. It doesn't feel overly drying. I find that a lot of mattifying primers tend to dry out my skin. This one feels really, really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and look at myself in the mirror just because a lot of times with primers you can instantly see, you know, a pore minimizing effect. Definitely do see some pore minimizing going on right now, you guys. It looks really nice. My skin looks hydrated. Okay. So I don't know how long you're supposed to wait. Let's see. It doesn't say how you're meant to use it. I know with the Hydro Grip you have to wait a whole minute before you go on with your foundation. So let's just keep it pushing. So far I like it. It does feel really, really tacky. I'm just gonna go in with my Stay Naked foundation from Urban Decay. This is actually one of my favorite foundations, and I'm not just saying that. I honestly really like it, especially if you're oily skin. This looks like skin. I typically wear 51WY. This was like my summer shade, but since it's winter, I have gotten a little bit lighter. And when I went to the event, I was already wearing the 51, but when I went to the event, they actually matched me to 41 based on the back of my neck, which is a lot lighter. So I'm gonna go in with the 1 pump of 41N. Oh my god, it just squirted. But I'm gonna take 1 pump of that, 1 pump of the darker one, which is 51WY. This isn't really a foundation review, so you get the feel of it, but it's not. It's really about the primer. I already know that this foundation wears and lasts all day, so I want to kind of just see how it goes. So I'm gonna take that, and I'm actually gonna take my Sigma Flat Bookie Brush F80. I'm gonna take that and kind of just mix those two shades, and I'm gonna start to just tap it on my cheeks. That's where I typically apply most of my foundation, because that's where I have most of my problem areas. And I'm kind of just gonna tap it everywhere. I'm not buffing it in, I'm just laying it out. I'm gonna blend it in with my beauty blender. This is a medium coverage foundation, so don't expect too much coverage. Again, I'm just pressing it into the skin. After I've done that, I'm gonna go in with my damn beauty blender and kind of just blend it into this one. I'm just gonna go with another layer of the lighter foundation on my cheeks, just because now that I've laid out the darker color, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more of the lighter shade, and I'm just gonna apply it to my cheek area because I feel like that's where I have the most discoloration. Again, just tapping it onto the back of my hand or the top of my hand, kind of applying it underneath the eyes, going in with a damp beauty blender and kind of just buffing it in. Oh, that looks really pretty on camera. And then whatever's left over in the brush, I am gonna bring down into my neck because I want it to match. I'm just gonna blend that in downwards. And also make sure you get the sides of your, like next to your ear, because a lot of times in pictures, that's where you can tell that my foundation's a lot darker. I don't like wearing foundation on my ears though. That's a little weird, just close to it. From there, I am going to go into the concealer. This is the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer in shade 40 and N. This is a little bit too light for me, lighter than I normally would, but I'm just gonna go in with a little bit because I do have a little bit of darkness in my under eyes. Nothing crazy, I just do that and maybe a little bit around my nose for redness. I have a little bit of discoloration on my chin. And just because that did a little bit more of a brightening effect than I wanted it to, I am gonna add a little bit on my forehead. With concealer, less is more. In the package with the primer, they did send the All Nighter Longwear Mattifying Powder. I feel like this is an older product, so I'm not gonna use it today. I just feel like this came out a year or two ago, and I just feel like if you have like a mattifying problem, you've already looked into this, you've already kind of know what that's about. I don't want to do too many mattifying products and then it like change the wearability of the foundation just because, you know, there's a lot going on to kind of extend the wear of the foundation. They did send over the new All Nighter Ultra Matte Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray, so I will be using this at the end. I'm just gonna go ahead, do a little bit of light powder underneath my eyes, which is typically what I do. I don't powder my whole face, and I am going to set my makeup with this. I'm gonna powder, bronze up a little bit, and I'll be back to show the spray. Bear with me. Hey guys, so I finished doing the rest of my makeup. I am gonna go ahead and use the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Matte Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. I will say, you guys, that before I even go into that, is as I was applying the rest of my makeup, my face does feel a little tight. As you guys know, I am combination oily skin, so I am on the oilier side. Like, I do get oily throughout the day, but I'm not to the point where I would need maybe something that's ultra matte, apparently, because my face does feel a little tight. I did go in with the heavy moisturizer, so just keep that in mind. My complexion does look flawless. It just looks very matte. So if you're someone that loves a really, really matte finish, this primer is going to be amazing. But let's go into the setting spray. So going into the setting spray, I've never used it before, obviously. This is my first time. I am a big fan of the All Nighter setting spray. The All Nighter is literally one of my favorites. When I lived in Texas, it was a lot more humid, so I lived for the De-Slick spray. It was my absolute favorite. I could not live without it. It just kept my makeup on so well, so long. I am going to say, know it's real when like nothing's coming out. Like this is my first time using this. Oh, there we go. Smells exactly the same like all the others. I will say that looking at the box, it is made by Scandinavia. They produce all their setting sprays and they have their own line of setting sprays and setting primers and makeup removers and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move my hair out of the way. And I don't know how many sprays, there's 2 to 4 times in an X and I formation. So I just like to make sure that all my face gets covered in the spray. That feels really nice. Feels like all the other ones. Can't say that it feels any different. Feels like any setting spray. I will say that it is a fine mist, which I love that. Now that I've done that, let's see if it took away some of the dryness. Makeup looks really well. Again, I do look a little matte. That's what we're going for. We want a long-lasting finish. So yeah, I'll be back in a couple hours to check back in with you guys. It's 6:19 in the afternoon, so I'll be back in maybe 5 to 6 hours. This primer is supposed to extend the wear of your makeup for 8 hours, so we'll see about that, won't we? So yeah, just keep on watching, you guys. I'll be back in shortly. Hey guys, so it's now 1:34 at night. It has been 7 hours since I initially put on my makeup. I haven't looked at myself in the mirror. I just got back from getting food. Looking at myself in the mirror, it looks really good, honestly. Like my bronzer is still there. It has not faded whatsoever. My highlight is starting to fade just a little bit right up here. That's something that I commonly find happens to me with any highlight that I use. I find that my skin just soaks it up in that area, but it's not too bad. Honestly, there have been other days where I go to work and I'm like, where is my highlight? This is not bad. I can still see it. It's still right here. I am starting to get shiny again around my nose. Nothing crazy. Like I can still walk around like this. I'm not going to be looking any crazy. The foundation did start to break apart and where some of my breakouts are right around my lip. Overall, my skin looks like it has a sheen to it that almost looks like a liquid solidified. I don't know how to explain it. My skin looks a little wet in this area. I don't know how to describe it or what I don't know how to describe what I am physically seeing, but it doesn't look bad. Almost like rubber. I don't know how to describe it. That makes it sound really ugly. It's not ugly. It looks fine. It's just like I can tell from initial wear to now that it almost looks like I have like a rubber, like an oil slick. No, not an oil slick. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it just looks that my skin has a sheen to it. It doesn't look bad. I can still walk around. It looks nice. It's not really breaking apart in the key areas. It is just around my lips, but I did eat, so that's probably why it broke apart under my lips. So I'm just gonna go ahead and conclude the video as far as my expectations, what I thought about it, and how it performed. Starting off with the primer, I don't know how much this will run for. I'm assuming it'll be like $30, somewhere around there. It is supposed to prep, smooth, and perfect the skin. It also claimed to lift the skin. I will say that as far as lifting, my skin did feel a little tightened when I put it on. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. It didn't feel dehydrated, though I will say, just looking at the texture of how the makeup is laying, it definitely absorbed a lot of the oil, which is a good thing if you're super oily. For me though, because I am combination skin, I could use with a little bit more hydration. That's not to say it's a bad product or that it didn't work out for me, because it absolutely did, but I definitely would go in with the moisturizing just a little bit more. However, if you're more on the oily side, I can definitely see this working out for you. As far as texture goes for this primer, I will say that I love what I'm seeing on camera. I photographed beautifully. My skin looks super smooth. As far as in person, I will say that this didn't necessarily do anything for my acne scarring. I know that with the Milk Hydro Grip primer, it really just softens and really, it's a thicker gel consistency, so I feel like it really raises the skin, whereas this is a lighter consistency, so I feel like it didn't really elevate like that area. As far as pores go though, it definitely helps with pore size. So if you're someone that struggles with pores, this is literally going to be the bomb.com. I'm not bashing the primer because I actually do absolutely like it. Like if I didn't know that Hydro Grip existed, I'd probably reach for this, and I probably still would. Maybe if I was in a more humid climate, like if I was back in Texas where every time I visit my skin gets more on the oilier side, like I find myself getting really oily, I would definitely reach for this because it's more oil controlling. If you're super oily, you're gonna love this. If you're combination oily, you're gonna love it. If you're combination dry, that's where it gets a little tricky. I feel like I'm just super combo, like I'm dry in some areas, oily in others. I would give this a thumbs up if you're super oily. If you're combo oily, I definitely recommend you get your hands on this primer. I think you will absolutely love it. I feel like it really controls your oil, which if you're super oily, that's what you want. That's what this is catered to. For me, because I'm more just combo, I feel like if I were to use this, I would use this just in my T-zone and then everywhere else use a different primer. Overall, love the primer. I definitely give it a thumbs up. I told you my prerequisites and what kind of skin types I would use it for. So if you fall into that category, I think you should definitely try it out or at least get a sample from Sephora if you can. As far as the all-nighter setting spray, that extreme matte, the ultra matte, my bad, I really liked it. It didn't feel any different than the other ones. I will say that it definitely still melted the makeup into my skin. It took away any of the powder residue that sometimes like when you put on powders, it tends to, you know, have that powder-like texture. This definitely melted it right into the skin. It just melted the makeup in. Didn't feel drying, it still felt hydrating, so I feel like this is probably something that even if you're dry, you can still use and it'll mattify you throughout the day. Dry people still get oily, you guys. You still develop a little bit of oil, a little bit of a sheen. I feel like this will just keep your makeup on longer. So I would definitely recommend this for all skin types. I know this is catered to oily skin, but I feel like when you're dry, you can still benefit from this. A lot of times when I go in with setting spray, I actually go in and powder my T-zone afterwards just to like kind of take away the sheen of that wetness look that sometimes develops when you use a setting spray. This one didn't cause that. Like I didn't go in with powder afterwards, so that is really good. That's actually bomb. So if you're oily, this is amazing. Both products are bomb, especially if you're oily skin. I think you are going to absolutely love this. If you're combo, you can still get away with using it, but like I said, like for me personally with that primer, I would definitely just use it in my T-zone, and everywhere else use probably the Hydro Grip or something similar or something different. If you want to see me compare the Hydro Grip to this primer, let me know down below and I'll definitely make that into a video. If you like this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos from me, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click on that bell notification icon so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you watch this video all the way to the very end, make sure you leave a peach emoji down below so everyone's like, oh my god, what is happening? And until next time, you guys come out.